So I see by the clock on the target bell that it's time to start. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am going to call a point of interest. You're coming up on approval of the agenda. Item number 4 and number 5 are in question. Sam, did you guys receive a written on-paper resignation from Mayor Glass?
No.
It is required.
Yeah, we did. Yes, we do have it. It's the next day.
Okay. In addition to that, placing Ward 2 and Ward 3. Ward 3 will not have a vacancy because the person that represents, unless it's Darla. Darla, are you vacating Ward 3? Okay. The Ward 3 person who is up for mayor, he will retain a vote in Ward 3. He will not get 2 votes, he'll only get 1 vote. And that's the way it is. South Dakota Law 998 and 91314.2. So you need to make the appropriate changes
Help
in
me
the
understand what you mean by 91314.2.
statute 9-13-14.2.
Yeah, what are you referencing that with?
That has to do with the line of succession and the president of the council. You'll be appointing someone essentially as president of the council, and 998 shall appoint by a majority vote one of its members to act as mayor. If the office of mayor is vacated, the Board of Commissioners shall appoint by a majority vote one of its commissioners as acting mayor. The acting mayor is invested with all the powers and shall perform the duties of the mayor until the election of the mayor. The acting mayor only has 1 vote as a commissioner and is not entitled to vote as acting mayor. Just hang on and I'll give you the second one.
And Ms. Larsen, just if I could explain that real quick. 9-13-14.2 I believe only applies if we have an ordinance that allows for us to replace a resigning mayor by election, which we don't. So
Okay, I'll read it.
Finish, please, ma'am. In that case, 9-8-2 applies, in which we only appoint a mayor by majority vote of aldermen as soon as practicable after the vacancy occurs, which would be this meeting.
Okay, the vacancy was not published, and I realize that that's not in line.
Mr. Larsen, may I ask that you enforce the order of the agenda and allow the council to move on to agenda item 3?
The reason why I called point of order is because it affects how you approve the agenda.
I'm not sure it's enough.
Okay.
That is correct.
Regarding the approval of the agenda, I would like to
Has the acting mayor said that we are on agenda item 3?
Yes. Does anyone on the council have an issue with the agenda?
I do. I think that it would be better stated that 4A specifically state, motion to approve the appointment of blank for mayor until the next election. Aside from that, I see no problem with the agenda.
Are there any other issues with the agenda?
In addition to what Dan has said, I think he's correct to a degree. I also think that we should allow some public input into this mayoral issue. I know on May 5th I received an email from Finance Officer Germans. At that time, she said that we would be, at this meeting, we would be discussing the mayor position and ward vacancies, and then we would move to advertise those vacancies. Then I got the agenda Friday night, and it turns out that we had jumped into just assigning somebody mayor, or appointing someone to be mayor. And
So you want to move public input to number 3A?
I don't think we should be voting on the mayor tonight, period. I don't think we've given the public enough chance. It's my understanding that the newspaper article that you were referencing in your email didn't come out until this past Thursday,
Correct.
which means a lot of people in town had about 24 hours notice to even know that the mayor had resigned. Anybody else can feel free to jump in.
I agree with that to a certain extent, but as I was reading the aldermanic form of government information regarding vacancies, none of that is necessary.
I understand it's not necessary. I'm not saying anybody's broken the law or done anything illegal. I'm saying it's improper. It's inappropriate. The public deserves to know what's going on. They deserve to have a chance to be here, and they deserve to have a chance to throw their hat in the ring if they want to be mayor.
So what's your solution to the agenda problem?
Well, we could go back in time, and the three of us could decide to have a special meeting more promptly if your issue is that you need somebody to sign checks. I understand that your job is probably being delayed by this. But if that's the case, why didn't we call this meeting sooner? Why was I told on May 5th that this meeting was going to be for one thing, then I get the agenda and it's for something completely different?
And that still doesn't answer my question. What changes should we make to the agenda so
I
we can
believe I
get
already
this?
said we should not be voting on agenda item 4A, period.
Well, then B or C would not be as well.
Yeah, right, and then, so basically all four should not be discussed.
And then in that case, 5 would be irrelevant. And basically what you're saying is we would just postpone this process until advertising and so on had been done. Is that correct?
I believe that's the custom we have established in this council. When there is a vacancy, I know when you moved and your position was vacant and when Lance Johnson resigned, those vacancies were advertised almost immediately.
True.
So why did we choose to do something different here? And those vacancies were advertised without council approval. That's something that you did completely on your own. I just don't see the reason for why that wasn't done here.
So would someone want to make a motion to approve the agenda as edited?
What are the edits?
Eliminate 4, 5, 6. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Nobody else is jumping in except for Dan, so I'm just not sure that everybody else agrees. That's why I'm asking.
Well, and I do agree to a certain extent. I'm saying it does make sense. I mean, so in my opinion, maybe it does make sense to wait until it's duly advertised. What difference does it make? I'm still able to sign checks because I'm on the register at the bank. That's irrelevant. I'm still on the register, so 2 people still have to sign checks. So we've got the luxury of some time. It does say as applicable. Oh, sorry, as practicable.
Correct.
So what do you think, legal counsel, Sam?
So you've established a custom of publishing, which vacancies, which you do not need to do, but there's obviously arguments that have been made for the consistency, therefore practicable can mean whatever you want it to mean, Dan, in the sense that as soon as practicable, do you want to get the person in there immediately to do the job? What does practicable mean in accordance with established custom that you have, which is providing notice? You will be fined either way you choose to do it under the statute.
Legally.
Legally, you will be fined, and I think that's the extent of what my comments on the matter should be.
In that case, I would make a motion that we eliminate items 4, 5, and 6 from the agenda and approve the agenda as modified.
Before, second is done on that, I would recommend that you keep 6 in there just as precaution in case something would happen that's unforeseen. We still need the ability to conduct some business.
It's a valid point. In that case, I would like to rescind my motion, Mr. Mayor. I would like to enter a motion to eliminate items 4 and 5 from the agenda and approve the agenda as modified.
I will second that.
Linda seconds. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries.
So just one of those or Avery?
One day.
Dave can't vote.
You can
Yeah,
vote.
I can.
You can vote,
Really?
yes.
Oh, okay.
She still represents Ward 2.
So it's 4 to 1?
And I would vote yes, yes. Okay, moving on to old item 6. Motion to approve authorizing signatories at the bank.
Which would be Dave and Dan.
I will make a motion to approve Dave Larsen and Dan Hager as signatories on all accounts and safety deposit boxes held at Premier Bank. I'll second that.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'm voting aye. Opposed? All yes, carried. Credit card charges, charge limits. So, Pat, can you explain what's happening with this?
Currently, we have a charge limit of $5,000 for all the city credit cards. The department heads have a $1,000 limit, and Wanda and Austin have a card of $500 limits. We are now looking to add a card for Michelle Norling, the librarian, which would increase our ability to charge to $5,500.
Thank you. So is there a motion to approve credit card charge limit to $5,500?
I would move that we approve the credit card charge limit increase to $5,500.
I'll second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm voting aye. Opposed? Carried. Item number 8, public input.
I do have one further thing. On the credit card limits, would you restate one at 1,000, two at 500?
Myself, Jeff Christie, Lonnie Johnson, Dale Pearson all have $1,000 limits.
Okay.
Wanda, Michelle Norling, and Austin Sculler, $500 limits.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other public input? Okay, moving on to the main reason we're here tonight, swimming pool discussion.
After our meeting 2 weeks ago, I did put a Survey Monkey question out on Facebook on the pool and chamber marketplace. It had 5 questions on it, and in your packets are the responses to those 5 questions. Do you want the swimming pool to open this season? 129 people responded. 78% was yes, or 101 was yes, and 28 was no. Next question was, if the pool is open, are you comfortable with sending your children to the pool? Again, 129 responded, and it was 99 and 30 in favor of opening. Then we posed the question about restrictions. If the big pool was 26 and the baby pool was 5. How will this affect your answer? And again, 131 people did answer this one, and 98 were in favor, and 33 were not. And then the last question, if you were in favor of opening the swimming pool, but the baby pool remained closed. 130 people responded, 86 were in favor, and 45 were against. And then also in your handout, the last question, I just asked for comments, how they felt about the pool overall. And so there were 22 comments. The 23 test is myself, just making sure it worked. So there's kind of your responses. I also included in your packets when I sent out the email, the response from our insurance company, how One Beacon was offering guidance. And then Wanda and I had a meeting with the lifeguards, and we asked their opinion, how they felt about opening the pool, because if we don't have lifeguards, there's no point in having this discussion. And they were all in favor of moving forward with the pool. Kendra, if you want to speak on some of the things we talked about, that'd be great.
For sure, yeah. Yep, so we had a meeting the other day, and all the guards and potential guards came out to that, and the biggest thing we were talking about is how can we limit contact with guards and patrons as much as possible, and also limit contact between people as much as possible. And other thing we talked about is how we be cleaning a lot more, and that would be a big part of this summer, opening the pool. So we talked a lot about the limit from the insurance is 26 people in the big pool, 5 in the baby pool, and we said it would be much easier to limit the 26 people coming into the big pool because they have to pay or they have to check in with their pool pass, and then we have a constant count. It's a little bit harder with the baby pool because it's free to the public, so usually people just come in as they please. We talked about how we could maybe get around this by having people going to the baby pool checking in first, and opening, I don't know if you guys know how the pool works, or the gates work in the pool, but the baby pool can be opened to the outside directly, or it can be opened from inside the big pool. So we could check people in that are going to the baby pool as well. So that's kind of how we would plan on regulating the numbers at the pool. We'd just be taking capacity as much as possible. And then we also talked about a lot of like the cleaning measures that would be put in place as well. I'm sure we will have a lot of more ideas, but some of the ideas that we did bring up were every break, we would have the guards on staff doing some sort of cleaning task. So one guard would be taking like the chlorine water and dumping it on the ladders to disinfect those, because the chlorine water does kill the virus and other, germs and stuff. So dumping that on the ladders to disinfect those, dumping that on like the pool slides or the slide steps and railings too. And then also having other guards go into the bathrooms and sanitize that, and then potentially any other areas that we find are getting a lot of contact with people as well. Those would be disinfected at every break. Now there were some questions about disinfecting the bathrooms after every use, and we found that would probably be a little bit more difficult for us to do since we are busy, watching the kids and stuff. But we thought of like having some sort of wipes in the bathroom there, and people signs saying you're responsible for cleaning before and like after each use with that too. And then of course at every break a guard would be going through and cleaning them as well. So yeah, those are some of the kind of cleaning side of things that we talked about. And overall, as you can see in the surveys, we have a pretty big response that like people want something for their kids to do this summer. And I know with school being let out early in March, kids have been very restless. I don't know if you've seen them around town. I have, and you know that they need a good outlet for their energy. And I think that the pool would be a really safe and important outlet for that energy this summer. And so yeah, all our guards have kind of come to the conclusion that we feel it's safe, and we can see in the surveys that a good population of the responses feel that it's safe and would be a productive outlet for the kids this summer. And of course, we would take every possible precaution and measure to make sure it is as safe as possible for everybody that will be using the pool this summer. So,
We also talked about swimming lessons.
yes.
We have 7 levels of swimming lessons.
Yep, 7 levels.
And the levels that require the most contact would be your very young swimmers, and then levels 1 and 2.
Yes.
Those are the children that are probably afraid to jump into the pool, so they require, or even those smallest group have the lessons in the baby pool.
Yes.
So we did kick around the idea of if a parent is going to bring a child to swimming lessons and they are of the age that require a lot of contact, that maybe the guards would be instructing to the parent, and the parent would be working with the child because they're already living in that same household. But the overall suggestion was that for session 1 anyway, we would at least just do lessons for 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
Those levels don't require the
Any contact.
hands-on
Yeah.
contact.
Unless it's must be made, but yeah.
So the other 3 levels are beginner, is it 1 and 2?
Yep, preschool, level 1 and level 2. Preschool is in the baby pool, but they still require a lot of contact. Those are your really young age 4, age 5 kids. Level 1 and level 2 are in the big pool. Level 1 requires like constant contact with the kids while they're in the water, and level 2 requires a good amount of contact. But once they get to level 3, there's not really any contact that needs to be made unless they need to be helped and
Right.
saved in any way. So
In which case, that's the least of our problems.
Yes, for
Just
sure.
a little touching.
Yes.
Or closeness, what I should say.
Question,
yes.
the limit of 26, how often do you think that would be?
Yes, for sure. That's another thing too. It really depends on the weather usually. I've worked at the pool the last 3 years, and you kind of can get a feel of how many kids are going to come based on the weather. If it's a really hot day, we can see, like 30 people plus coming out. But if it's a cooler day, we'll have probably 10 to 20 in that range. So I don't think that there would be a lot of that issue per se on the like cooler days. On the hot days, we would have an issue of like limiting people that come in. But I don't know exactly how often that would be a problem. It kind of depends on the weather and of course who's all comfortable like coming to the pool, who wants to use the facility and that sort of thing. So
Have you kicked around any ideas about having hours? Like maybe, what's the pool open in the afternoon from?
So on Monday through Saturdays, we have our schedule is 1:30 to 4:30 and then 6:30 to 8:30. And on Sunday, we usually have just one shift that's usually 4 to 7, I think. So 3-hour shift on Sunday. And then Monday through Saturday, we have a 3-hour shift in the afternoon and a 2-hour shift in the evening.
What has been your experience, your biggest day? How many people were there when you were, it's a record.
I'd say probably our biggest day, 50 would be the warmest day,
Yeah.
beginning of the summer when people are eager to be at the pool, we would have probably 50 at most, so.
So then how are we gonna limit the 26? What if all these people have passes? And then you're gonna say, okay, you can't come in today because we already have 26 here.
Yeah, I think we talked about it would just have to be a first come, first served sort of thing.
So if they wanna stay for the whole day, then the other ones have to go home.
Yeah, I think that's how we would have to
How about-
regulate
How
it.
about splitting your time up or doing like a couple hours,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then it's time for you to go?
right, unless,
Another couple hours.
unless there's no problem,
Yeah.
But if there's other kids, I'd hate for them not to get the opportunity because they can't be there right at 1:30.
Right?
But
What
then-
are you gonna do, pay by the hour? Like, if you buy, like, if I bought a pool pass, I want to be able to use that pass whenever it's open. So what are we gonna do, just charge people?
However, we've not had a virus like this
Do we
ever
need
before,
to-
so.
Reduce the amount of our season pass? I know, you're not gonna make money, you never do, but if we're going to limit hours, then do we need to reduce it? I don't know what our season pass is.
75 for a
For
family.
family,
Mhm. And daily is 3.
I mean, what if somebody brings a family of 5? They can't have very many people there either.
I say to do maybe at 3 o'clock, say that second shift can come, or whatever. Can you wait until 3 or whatever, or?
Yeah, I would rather have it so that the other kids at least have an opportunity to come back.
Correct. And maybe it's gonna be some of the ones that didn't have to travel, like, the kids in town or whatever, that are there probably 3 hours a day. Maybe they can only be there an hour and a half. I say you do not lower the price.
Okay.
Actually, the survey results support, I mean, it doesn't say anything in there about any reduced prices or anything, but obviously people are interested. When you look at 99 people responding, I don't know how many of those could be a couple rather than just, one parent. But, I mean, that's in effect, I mean, if every single one of those was a couple, approximately 50 kids, at least.
How many pool breaks are there?
It's every half hour.
Every hour. So for the 3-hour shift, we have 2 breaks and then close. So, and then for the 2-hour shift, we have 1 break and then close.
Do you get many kids in the evening, at the evening shift?
Not as many for
Not as
sure.
many, So we probably wouldn't end up with a problem on the evening
Nope.
shift.
Probably not an issue there. Just more the daytime shifts when it's warmer.
How much of a problem would it be to have people sign up?
Yeah, that's a thought. Sign up ahead of time for,
Maybe call in or something, and we're kind of doing that with the golf lessons, junior golf lessons. We're limited it to 8. You need to sign up ahead of time, and when it gets to be 8,
yeah,
we'll move you to a different group or whatever.
for sure, yeah. I think that might be a little bit more difficult for us to do just
Yeah.
because 26, that's a lot of, that's a larger number and, calling, I don't know, I don't think I would be constantly available for that as the pool manager, and I don't think other people really would either. But I know there's been thought about setting something up online where people could sign in online and something like that, but I don't know if we really have the capacity for that. So,
We may have to just play it by ear. I mean, I think everybody's in agreement, a lot of the people are in agreement, we want the pool to open.
Yeah. I think the
So
pool should be open.
obviously, if the pool does open, we're going to probably have to roll with the punches. I mean,
Make concessions if we have to.
yeah.
So how do we kick the 27th and 28th person out at 3 o'clock?
Or the people who, say, I know last time we had a little nap drawn where everybody would go. But in the pool, it's not like a restaurant. You don't get your table and you sit there, you eat, and then you leave. It's a pool. These people are going to be constantly moving around. And they're supposed to be 6 feet apart at all times.
If that is the route we decide to go, I was thinking we could probably get some inexpensive bands. And as the kids come in, or when they get their membership or whatever, we might have a red group and or blue group and a yellow group, like they do for school. And so if you are given a yellow band, then your time to come is such and such, or a blue band is such and such. So if they call ahead and say, or they come and they're like, I'm sorry, we have too many, then you'll have to come to the blue group, or vice versa. I mean, I'm just trying to think of something that would be not expensive, but durable, to withstand water.
I say you put an article in the paper. We have to go by the guidelines, CDC guidelines or whatever. We can allow 26. We need people to work with us, parents to work with us. So if your child is turned away, it's not because, but we need to wait
Nothing
until
personal.
the second, whatever time slot. So maybe they can say, you know what, I really like the first time slot because that's, I get off work at 3 o'clock or whatever. So that first time slot works for me. The second time slot, you know, works better for some people because they are off work and they bring their kids to the pool. You're not going to please everybody. You're going to make someone mad. But at least we will be open with something to do for the kids.
And the other thing that we didn't mention, that we talked about in our meeting, is we will not allow any toys this year. So we're not going to give out any noodles, and we're not going to do any toys.
Do you just want to say that loud or?
What, is it possible for you to, like, if I come to the pool and I sign in at 1 o'clock and we get to 26, is it possible for you to track on a sign-in sheet who's been there the longest and they're the first one out the door? I mean, how difficult is that?
Yeah, that could be a possibility, like having a sign-up sheet once they get there, and then, but it might be kind of difficult for like the guards to go out and find that person that's been there the longest and be like, okay, you gotta go now. I
Except
think-
they should be out of the pool because we're gonna have a break at this point, so.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, at the break
All the
time.
kids Anyway.
I don't know, how long max or 2 hour max or something.
Yeah, I think it would definitely just be easiest if we have like a time limit, and then once that time's up, those people go and we let the other people in, and if there's room and they want to stay, then okay, we can let as many people as we can back in again.
So we have 3 hours though, so you're not taking a break at that hour and a half, are you?
No.
So how are we gonna get them out at an hour and a half?
Well,
Do you think
we could maybe institute that, and normally their pool breaks now are 10 minutes. So maybe we do a 15-minute break because you're gonna have some additional responsibility.
Yep.
Plus that would give you a little bit of time to rest. And so maybe we do your breaks at an hour and a half and 3 hours.
Yeah, that could work too, yeah, for sure. Also, there was a person on here that recommended like having extended time, so maybe if we did want to do like 2 hour like shifts, we could, instead of having the 3 hour afternoon shift, we could have like a 4 hour afternoon shift, and then have people
I would like that.
at that 2 hour break, okay, you guys are let you go, and then let the other people in, and then same thing like before, let them fill back in if they please,
That would be a
but
good solution, that would give them 2 hours there.
The only thing
But I like
when those girls have swimming lessons, they're there at that pool for 12 hours out of the day. I only have 5 guards.
yeah, we don't have a ton of people, so.
We do not have the extra time. These girls need to go home and have a little bit of lunch or supper or go buy something.
What do we have in a normal year, is it like 10?
Pardon me?
How many lifeguards do we have in a usual year?
Last year we had
Probably
6.
I was gonna say,
Usually,
7 to 8.
yeah, usually have 7 to 8. Last year we had 6. It was a little bit more difficult, but we made it work. This year we have 5 currently. So, and Maddie's not certified yet, so 4 kind of, you know, kind of still going with that, but.
Did you talk to Peyton?
I did, she said she wasn't interested.
She is not. Okay.
Yeah, we do have some people, we do have the capability to have a person that isn't certified, say, like Maddie, sit in the pool house to take the money and stuff like that. And while the guards are out rotating, which isn't ideal for the guards, but it allows us to still go with that. So yeah, that's where we're at. We only have 5 people right now.
Is there any hope that Maddie can get certified this summer?
Yeah, we're talking to Arlington right now, we're getting classes set up.
Yeah, she's supposed to, on the 27th, she'll get set up for, like, there's an online component, I think, or something.
Yeah.
And then there's working on setting a date to do the pool stuff, so it's looking promising.
Okay.
Yeah, we should.
She
So
was
that might
signed
not
up.
be all summer long. I mean, I mean, you might get certified a month or 3 weeks or whatever down the road. And
Yeah, I don't,
Yes.
I mean, at least I will be certified, I'll be happy to help out, and not just sit in the house.
Okay,
What if you were to cut out some night swims and just have the longer days?
Yes, for
Just
sure.
this area?
That's an idea too, like limiting maybe some night shifts and then therefore giving the guards some time off there and just extending the day shifts, so we only have to come in once and then we can leave. That could be another potential
and
idea.
you said before that the night times usually aren't as busy?
No, they're usually not as big.
But there's been ball. If there's not ball,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
There's gonna,
And nighttime is
That's
when
true.
parents will come, they'll bring the family.
Sunday night seems like it's one of your busiest nights, is it?
Yeah, Sunday it's that kind of like afternoon. It's usually like 4 to 7 shift, so that usually has a good amount of people since families come to that. So
I really like this idea of, I don't know who it was, somebody commented, please have swimming lessons if nothing else.
Right.
yeah,
I think that if we just limit it to swimming lessons, that gives you guys an opportunity to keep your schedules pretty consistent, even if we do have a limited staff. It's also easier to enforce rules when you know for sure who's coming in at what time, and that way they can only pay for the services they're using. And you guys don't have to worry about 26 kids running around, and you have to constantly tell them, stay 6 feet apart.
I don't know that that would be an effective use of taxpayer dollars to fill the pool.
It would be
For
quite a
swimming.
It's
bit.
already not effective use of taxpayer dollars, we don't
It's a
make any money.
necessity.
Swimming lessons are 2 weeks.
Or how long?
2 weeks.
Right, but it would take, if we're limiting the hours, if we're reducing hours and we're limited staff, it would take longer to get the swimming lessons in.
But if you're not gonna have preschool 1 and 2, that's usually the biggest levels. That usually has the biggest numbers. If you only have 3, 4, 5, and 6, you might have 20 kids less in
yeah,
all of those.
total.
How
Yeah.
many? 20, maybe, in all of them. Preschool level 1 and level 2 are your popular ones. These girls don't want contact. You're either gonna have to have a parent in there, which is highly unlikely, or
And another body.
like,
If you've got a parent in there, you've got another body. 26 becomes 25 for every, one less for every parent. So,
How many lifeguards do you have to have for 26 kids? I have no clue.
So on duty, like outside, we have to have either 2 or 3. We haven't really like set a number, but usually if it's like a full pool, we have to have 3 guards. We have 3 chairs. So we haven't really decided 2 or 3, but in that area. But then there also has to be someone in the pool house.
Right.
So if we have 3 guards out on chairs, 4 people have to be at work.
have 4 people there at all times.
Yes, but at night shifts, we do only 2 guards, so 3 people at work, and that has worked fine
Because you have less kids.
because we have less people, yes. So that is definitely a possibility. Since we are limiting, we might be able to have 2 guards, 3 people at work.
Are your swimming lessons 5 days a week, 6 days a week?
5 days a week for 2 weeks, so Monday through Friday for 2 weeks, so 10 total sessions.
And after that 2-week period, there's no more swimming lessons for anyone?
Nope, there's 2 sessions a summer.
Okay,
So
so
we
you got
usually have a
one,
session in
a whole month.
June and July. And we did do private lessons last year, but we figured probably not this year since we're trying to limit that sort of thing. And a private lesson usually requires more contact, and we probably want to limit that. So
We talked about just at this stage doing 1 set of swimming lessons because we don't know what the future is going to hold. So at this point, we were saying we would for sure offer 1 set of swimming lessons. I
And see how
can't
many
speak for
people
the
are
second.
interested.
yes,
Okay, so with 2 sets, a student could take level 3 the first time and level 4 the second time?
yes, they could.
Usually what happens is a student will sign up for one or the other, depending
Yeah.
on family vacations or ball schedule or whatever the case is. But normally, kids don't take 2 sessions in a season.
They usually don't, yeah.
One.
How much is private lessons? How much do they cost typically?
Private lessons,
45 or 50, I think.
it depends on the amount of sessions they do, for sure. I don't
Because I
remember.
was thinking if you had some of your preschool 1 or 2s and you wanted to do a private lesson with a parent,
Yeah, that
that
could
could
be
be
a
an
possibility.
option.
Yeah.
If the parent would come in and
This
some
year, we're trying to discourage the private lessons only because of our limited guards
Okay.
and the amount of time at the pool. But, we can see how it goes.
Yeah, that is a possibility as well, yeah.
if you only had 2 weeks of swimming lessons, then you leave a lot more weeks.
Right.
And
In your packets too, you'll see there's 2 sets of results. These were changing as they went on today. The most recent one is the one that has more towns listed. And Sioux Falls made the announcement that their pool is closed this year.
All right.
but they have a lot more other options.
They do.
Because the zoo's gonna be open for free, we
Yeah.
just on the news before I came, and the pavilion. So and they're gonna be paid by the city, so kids have opportunities. We don't have that option.
No, we don't. But I just wanted to let you know, more towns committed to whatever they were doing. And I did talk to Jerry Zimetz today, and he said they're deciding tonight on their pool as well. And he was 95% sure they were gonna open.
So now we've pretty much decided that we're gonna open the pool. Lonnie, I saw you up there at the pool today. Where do we stand?
Start filling in the morning.
You could start tomorrow. That's an important piece of information.
With hot water, right?
Another thing we do offer, which I just would need some guidance if you still wanted to offer it, is the hour before we're open to the public, we allow people to come in and do adult lap swim. So the guards can still be there doing their free clean, but it gives adults an opportunity to come in and swim laps without worrying about kids.
So then we would need the evening, the evening session then?
This is just for people that want exercise, so they come in and lap swim.
But you've done this years past.
Yes.
So it's not anything new.
No.
It's just,
I just,
But it's still time that the lifeguards have to be there.
they're.
We're already there to clean.
They're vacuuming the pool.
Yeah.
And,
Okay, this is
yeah,
in the morning.
yes,
Okay, I thought maybe.
12:30 to 1:30.
12:30 to 1:30 is more, no.
well, so that's the 1 hour before they actually
Okay.
open to the public. That's what they're saying.
Okay, I thought their lunchtime lasted until 12:30 or 1:30.
Yeah.
So will we have enough staff to comply with the CDC guidelines?
I believe that we will. I'm not sure if we're having a library program or not, but it was going to be my suggestion that we hire, if she was interested, Peyton Meyer to possibly assist with the additional cleaning duties. And we were in such uncertainty. Normally, we advertise with the kids at school that we need lifeguards. And this year they weren't in session, so I could not do that. So,
Time to use our local paper again.
well, and I'm not sure, I mean, the last class that I know of is the 26th. Is that correct, of May?
Well, she's trying to, the one she's initially signed up for was canceled. It was in Vermillion, so this one is an alternative one we're trying to get into, so.
So getting certified is our next one.
Yeah.
So,
So what do you think of the hours of closing Friday and Saturday night, be open Friday and Saturday from 12 to 5 or 1 to 6, and then be done with it those days.
I think that'd be good.
And then maybe have your normal hours, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, if you chose to be open from 12 to 5, would that work for you girls or no?
12 to 5 or 1 to 6.
Yes, I think that would be good for us. Not
What would you rather work, 12 to 5 or 1 to 6?
I'd rather work 1 to 6 and no night shift personally. I
Yeah.
think it's better just to get it out, because then a lot of the time you have to go back for an hour, eat, usually take a small nap, and come right back. Like, you can't do anything in between that time, so it's
Right.
like you're there, and you're done.
Yeah, I think
So you think 1 to 6 on Friday and Saturday would be good?
yes, even more if maybe,
Okay.
But Friday and Saturday, that would be really good, 1 to 6.
And then Sunday would be
The regular shift of 4 to 7, right? That's what you're open, 4 to 7?
Yeah.
4 clear through to 7, no break.
Oh, well,
It's just one shift.
Just one
4
shift.
o'clock to 7. 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay. So we're gonna do the,
It's 1:30 to 4:30.
4:30.
And 6:30 to 8:30. Unless you guys want to do more, a couple of other days to go from 1 to 6.
I think with the limited staff that we have, we would be better off to say not doing more and allowing them the luxury of having a little bit of downtime. We don't want them to burn out. We're already down to 5 from 6 last year. Last year was tough with 6, so
And now we're in a position where if even one person gets sick,
that's,
then
yeah,
what do we do?
that's,
we have another special meeting.
yeah.
You have been able to, once in a while, trade with Beersford and get a lifeguard.
yes, we do have 2 lifeguards that helped us out from Beersford a lot last year. I haven't contacted them yet because, of course, I wanted to see if we were opening or not for sure. But I'll contact them again, and I have a feeling that they'll be willing to help again. And then we also have lifeguards that work other jobs now that don't necessarily work here now, but we can call on them in events of not having enough guards. So I know, like Jackie Holloway, she's still living here, and we can call on her when if we need another guard too. So we have options for people to fill in, but it's just a matter of knowing if we're opening or not at this point.
How about the armbands?
What do you guys think if I would order some and we color code?
Yeah, that could work, yeah. Like you have your time that you could, yeah, that could be a possibility.
Okay.
So if an out-of-town person wanted to swim, then they'd contact you, then you'd say this color on there?
Yeah, I don't know how that would work necessarily, because I know some people would probably just come and like be like, I want to swim, and then you wouldn't know like where exactly to place them, so.
But if you only have 23 people in the pool, when
Yeah.
somebody else comes,
Yes.
they could get in.
They could get in.
Yep, let them swim. Yep.
So then the next question that I would ask of you is our Chase Lounge chairs. Initially, when we were talking, it was like, okay, we probably shouldn't have the chairs out at all, not offered. But in talking about it, I feel if we offered the sanitizing wipes and if someone wanted to use the chairs, that they would sanitize before they use.
I did some reading, and they just made sure they were 6 feet apart and they sanitized. Spray or whatever.
Yeah, I wonder if, the pool water's chlorinated, I don't know the concentration, but so you've got to pump up a sprayer and you just walk around and spray with the pool water. If the pool water's going to kill the virus.
Well, Lonnie has already purchased 4 gallons of our actual sanitizer for the pool. So we could either mix up spray bottles or we could mix up the weed sprayer.
Be quick, at least.
A little 1 gallon
Yeah.
weed sprayer with solution in it should.
Yeah, it would definitely. So, and the sun being out is gonna have a large impact on it too, so. So really, the question is the swimming pool opening date. And now let's go back to Lonnie and say, so you fill it tomorrow, how long does it take to fill?
It'll be full on Wednesday,
So Wednesday it's full.
probably by late tomorrow night. I'll probably shut it off halfway through the day because it'll take 24 hours or so. Then I'll finish Wednesday.
2 weeks
It's
later?
just a matter of getting it cleared up, and that's usually 3 to 4 days. So it'll be off the boat, but
Right, that's why I say 2 weeks. I mean, it's supposed to be quite warm here in the next week or so, so hopefully that'll help.
Are the guards ready to work on June 1?
What, sorry?
Are we ready?
John, are the guards ready to work June 1?
I think so, you guys?
Hopefully rates are fine then.
Yes, we would be ready to
2
work.
weeks, but that's a Monday.
Well, at least, yeah, all I'm trying to do is just get a guide, but
And the
No.
guards start early because they clean.
Yeah,
They
Oh, I'm
prep
sure,
the pool house and they stock their supplies and,
paint.
yeah, and paint.
so do we call the swimming pool open date then June 1?
I'd be for that.
Is it possible?
Oh, I think so.
I think so.
In my opinion, this needs to be reevaluated monthly. If we end up with 10 cases in town here,
Things might change.
we might have a special meeting to close this baby down.
Absolutely. There could be a
How
number
many
of
things
things.
are going down?
I would caution the concentration of chlorine. I'm one of those individuals that's allergic to chlorine. Some little kids are highly sensitive to chlorine, and if you start spraying stuff, you want to make sure your concentration will not redden permanently the back legs of kids sitting on that.
I think if you use a sprayer, I think it should be filled out of the pool.
If it comes out of the pool, it's gotta be good for, I mean, or they better not be in it, so.
What is a line, you know?
well, the concentration of the pool is in parts per million, so I can't give you a percentage.
But is that what it would be that you ordered?
The stuff I ordered is a lemon disinfectant. It's an actual disinfectant.
I know in my work, we couldn't use chlorine, but we have another one that can.
And that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is not really chlorine.
Right,
that
and
he's
it
talking about.
works fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of chlorine issues.
I don't see a thing for a motion here. Are we concurring June 1?
I believe by ordinance you have the sole authority to decide. You either approve it.
Oh.
Kind of nice, huh?
No,
No.
I don't want to have anybody die on my watch.
What are we doing here with the park restroom opening date? I mean, it's not open right now.
No, and neither is the last shelter.
So who's gonna be, Parker gonna be the one that's gotta sneak in there every once in a while and spray that down with the pool cleaning stuff?
Well, it could be this, if we have additional help hired to assist in cleaning. In the past, we had the gal that cleans for us here at the Audi. She is out on medical leave right now. So at this point, I'm not sure. But if you decide that. I think it's one of those things, again, comes back to parent responsibility. Or, you know, we put a sign up like we did.
So how often would the outdoor bathrooms at the park need to be cleaned?
Well, she would visit them twice a week.
Twice a week.
But,
Is once a day enough?
you know, we could put a sign that said, again, I feel if we left sanitizing wipes and people felt the need, they could sanitize before and after use.
And those will be in somebody's home by.
Yeah.
Well, we make our own, so if they want it, I guess, you know. So,
So what's the date?
We were in Newton Hills on Sunday, and that's a huge place, lots of people there. What do? They have outhouses everywhere,
yeah,
and picnic tables all through the park.
and that
And
one's,
they don't have any sanitizers, there was nothing.
right.
They
So
just expect you to carry it yourself.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
and there was people all over.
Maybe there's the deal, post.
Yeah, there was a lot of
This is
those.
cleaned on a regular basis, but we're not cleaning every 15 minutes, you know, so use at your own risk.
And those signs that I gave you were samples of what the insurance company did.
They had, like, in front of the bathhouses up there, they had these laminated on a post in front of the bathhouse. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Their swimming houses weren't open yet. I think they're opening in a couple of weeks, but.
Okay, so swimming pool's gonna be open June 1.
All right.
Look at that.
So we're gonna do the restrooms at the same time, and if we have an extra person we're gonna hire to help with the pool, can they take the sanitizer down there once a day, spray the bathrooms?
I think that would be good. Do you
Yes,
also
I
want
think
the,
you still have sole authority over the park too, so.
Well, I'm asking my advisors before I make a executive decision.
I don't think it makes sense to do it any other way.
You think we'll be able to find somebody that'll squirt that stuff around?
I don't know, we'll cross that bridge.
No.
We either will, or we'll put up a sign that says use at your own risk.
Well, Peyton might need a job. I don't know what's happening at the library yet.
Right.
She was applying at the nursing home.
What's that?
She was applying at the nursing home,
Okay.
but I don't know if she went.
Might need part-time.
I'll just take care of those bathrooms until you can find somebody.
Okay.
Because I have to go there every day for the pool anyways, so.
Oh, okay. That'd be nice. Thanks, Lonnie.
Do you also want the open, or the enclosed shelter unlocked?
Well, what about leaving it locked and they call and get a key? So then we know when it's gonna be used.
Well, we're not supposed to be having large gatherings, why do we need it open anyway?
Because families still get together. I mean, I'm
I
just
suppose we
asking.
can measure it and see how many people can fit in there, huh?
And then once you get them inside, tell them they can't move, and they just sit there.
Yeah. You sit there, no, go eat your cake.
We got 9 tables, you can have 10 people. It's one stand. I don't care. I mean, if we think we should have the picnic shelter closed, there's always the open air shelter.
Yeah, I think that would be better.
Okay, so keep that closed for right now?
I think so.
Okay.
Just temporarily.
All right.
Okay, so park restrooms will open June 1 also and be sprayed once a day with disinfectant. And the closed shelter will remain closed. At least until the gun-toting people come to my house. Moving on. We need to hire the clubhouse manager. We have interviewed Michael Croy, who was former cook at the Hillbillies Restaurant. $12.50 an hour. He will be doing scheduling, ordering, and some cooking. Can I get a motion to hire Michael Croy as clubhouse manager? $12.50 an hour.
interviewed? or-
He has been interviewed.
I'll make a motion to hire Michael Croy as clubhouse manager at a rate of $12.50 an hour.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any other discussion?
I did have one question. When you interviewed, did you identify any notice of recruitment? Is there a reason? Is it because we would have had 3 people and it would have been more?
It was a committee, wasn't
It was a committee.
And I am on the committee,
Yeah.
but I never heard about it.
You,
I heard about Deb quitting or something.
That was my mistake.
Well, I didn't know, is it because there would have been 3 and then 3 would be a quorum? I didn't know.
the only people that interviewed him were Dave and I.
Okay. Well, I just asked a question. It's just awkward for me having to hire people who I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he's not fit for his job, I'm fine. I just wasn't sure. You're confident that he will Deb stepping down and he will, is he already working on that then?
He's been putting in a few hours now.
So is your professional opinion that this gentleman is qualified?
He is the best candidate you can find.
The only one.
Okay. Who was Darla?
Okay,
Yeah, right.
so Darla made a motion and Dan seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. All those opposed? Carried.
Can I ask for clarification for the girls? Did we decide on lessons, what we're going to do with swimming lessons? Are you going to have 2 sessions, 1 session, and get rid of the preschool and level 1 and level 2?
Yes.
Okay, so 2 sessions, 1 session?
One
Two
session.
sessions.
I thought we were
One session.
I thought we said 1
I
session.
thought so too.
Right, 1 session and get rid of preschool 1 and 2.
Okay, and then the baby pool, did we decide on that?
It's gonna be open.
Open baby pool with 5 kids.
Except I don't think that they should be allowed to get in without coming through the
They're
pool.
gonna come through, and
Got to
only
go
have
through.
5 kids, or
Five
5
humans.
people.
Patrons.
Okay,
That's 3 mothers and 2
and
kids.
it was my bad, Wednesday evenings, they were also closed last year, so Wednesday evenings are gonna be
Can you
closed.
just reiterate, can you just restate the whole?
Absolutely. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, they are going to be open 1:30 to 4:30 p.m., 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Wednesday, 1:30 to 4:30.
Hold on now.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 1:30 to 4:30, and 6:30 to 8:30.
correct?
Wednesday?
Just the afternoon shift, 1:30 to 4:30. Friday and Saturday is going to be 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. And Sunday is 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Because of our lack of guards and because of the swimming lessons, that makes for a very long day when they have to be there 12 hours. With our shortage of staff, they're either going to want them paid each time, or they're going to pay for a single person and go with that.
So Sunday, they're not open in the afternoon at all until?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
Gives them a chance to come back to camp.
What?
That gives them a chance to get back to camp before they swim.
No, I'm fine, I just didn't know what it was.
It gets a good schedule with it. Okay,
Thank you
turning
for that
the page. Item 11. An ordinance amending section 1.0202, regular meetings of chapter 1.02 of the revised municipal ordinances of the city of Alcester. Hopefully you've had a chance to read through that. Changing our regular meeting from the first Monday to the first Monday and third Monday each month starting at 6 p.m. Meet here or other designated place.
I move we approve the first reading of ordinance number 2020-06 and ordinance amending section 1.0202 regular meetings of chapter 1.02 of the revised municipal ordinances of the city of Alcester.
Now, if we do this, are we also changing the payments?
That's set by resolution.
Right.
I think we should.
Absolutely.
Should be back to maybe $20.
But that's separate from this.
Right.
This ordinance is this ordinance, and that's my motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Linda,
Linda, okay.
thank you. So any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the ordinance change?
Aye.
I vote aye. Opposed? Carried. Executive session, do we need that?
I don't have any, unless one of the council does.
Okay, let's move on then to 12. Planning and zoning public hearing to amend an ordinance, and this is for Pat, what?
At the last meeting, we had a plat map for the industrial board, and one of the parcels or sections did not fit. And after having Tom and Sam come to the facility so they could actually get a visual, it was decided this is such an unusual situation, it would be wise to develop another district, which would be a planning district, planning and development district. At this point, there are a lot of unknowns, what will happen with that parcel, to know what the use is going to be, to know the size that it would need to be. So at this point, it was the recommendation to have a planning and zoning public hearing at our next meeting, which would allow input. Sam will have something written up to that effect, and then it goes through the channels. So it'd be a planning and zoning public hearing, and then it will be, if that is approved, then we move forward with creating the new district.
Okay,
Just to clarify, this is not a special meeting, this is just in conjunction with the
June, the June one.
Yes, and so in order for us to amend our zoning ordinances, we have to have a separate public hearing to do that, so that's what this is.
okay, so is there a motion to set a planning and zoning public hearing on June 1 at 6:30 p.m.?
I'll make a motion to set a planning and zoning public hearing on June 1st, 2020 at 6:30 p.m.
Second?
Now, before you do that, you may want to adjust the time, because if you're going to conduct interviews for mayor and Ward 2, I don't know if that's enough time.
So 7? Anybody?
I like 7. Let's just say that. That sounds good to me.
And then if we rush through everything and end up done at 6:30, then we
We
just.
gotta
go
wait
the
till
rest of the
7.
agenda.
Yeah, gotta wait till
We'll do
7.
other stuff until 7.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion now.
Well, now I have to, do I need to rescind my motion, or can I just?
No, we haven't got a second yet, so.
Okay, I will make a motion to set the planning and zoning public hearing for June 1st, 2020 at 7 p.m.
Now, is there a second?
Central Standard Time. I'll second.
Linda, thank you. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll vote aye. Opposed? Carried. Motion to enter into executive session. Do we need this? No. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
And I think we should discuss what we're gonna do with all the rest of our time this evening. All those in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much, folks.
What will the official time you declare about?
No, I have to send this over. I've already sent this with the exception of the items that are yellow. So Allison has it, or whoever your type certificate person is. So I will send it now with the time. I'll send it. I'll send it to Allison directly. I will copy you on,
When we first moved in there, I saw.
no. You would need copies of anything else.
Yeah, what's that about? 2 million little TVs on them, don't they?
So,
They got these like large wash bottles. They're lenses. They work. Now they're stumps.
How'd you get the bark off that one?
it would
It just feels awful. And that's
so it
exactly what it looks
lessens the
like.
restrictions.
I think it'd make a great end table. In fact, the guy
It
that's it said.
lessens the restrictions.
A lot of people sell those for end tables.
Had a lot of those things.
Oh, my goodness, I know it.
Instead of that, I bought myself a split.
So I need nothing from you, I just send it directly.
Yes, I have to, but I will carbon you on it too.
I have no choice.
Play with them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the girls that were here,
Yep,
the leader is
Kendra
Henry
Jensen.
Jensen, okay? And then the one sitting off
The
is
girl sitting next to her is, we call her Lizzie.
So,
she's out.
Yes,
She's
Jackie's
been
sister.
wrong.
on the signature
She's
card.
been a student or something.
She just graduated. She was on the front cover of the.
Yeah, sure. To the right.
Yes. She accepted all those
Yeah.
awards.
Yeah,
Yes.
And
And
then this
now
girl,
Bailey Peterson.
Bailey.
Deal.
Yeah, and she spells her name uniquely. Here.
Well, the only issue is if something would happen.
Right. I mean, you never know. They need a check signed.
And then you have
Like
Ryan.
today, and if I was sick,
She's a young one.
Oh, the other girl is gonna get it. I didn't get it.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah, I didn't
Maddie
get it.
Haig. She's Mr. Haig's daughter, the teacher.
Teacher, okay. Thank you.
Yes. So if I tell you something that you remember everything.
I think I'll probably, depends on how long it is.
And he would like to schedule
Oh, smart man.
I'll see if I can
Do
take
you need the phone number for Nate? Or do you have it?
I believe I have it.
Okay,
It's Nate and Rob, right?
well, I was listening that.
Yeah, hey.